Phillip Rivers, no longer playing for the Chargers, will be a free agent March 18, can sign with anyone. And I do a couple of spots every week on The Score in Chicago, and one of the first things they asked me yesterday morning, Phillip Rivers to the Bears. They're looking for a Mitchell Trubisky replacement. Your thoughts, Big Cat, on the possibility of an upgrade in the form of Phillip Rivers over Mitchell Trubisky for 2020?
Okay, so I don't know if this is all the way an upgrade, and I like Phil Rivers, but we watched Phil Rivers last year, and Mitch Trubisky was not good last year. That's not what I'm saying. But this is a precarious situation. The Bears are in a weird spot because they have to say that they're all in on Mitch Trubisky. They have to say he's the starting quarterback next year. I know that they're going to want to bring in some kind of competition, but you can't bring in a guy who will demand to be the starting quarterback and then completely flush down Mitch Trubisky. I mean, obviously you can, but don't you think that the Bears are in a spot where they box themselves in with just where they picked Mitch Trubisky, what they've said about him, the fact they went to the playoffs, 2 years ago, that they can't bring in a guy who's going to demand to be the starting quarterback? And I don't see Phillip Rivers going anywhere where he is not the guaranteed starting quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. When you still have the same general manager who made the trade from 3 to 2 to get Mitchell Trubisky and not Pat Mahomes or Deshaun Watson, you've got to continue to ride with this guy. You can't put him on the bench. You have to hope that it'll turn around and it'll be more like 2018 than it was in 2019. So I agree with you. It becomes a tough sell for Ryan Pace. Now, for Matt Nagy, he may think, hey, I just want to win football games, and I get a savvy veteran like Phillip Rivers who will understand my offense. What? Is he not a savvy veteran?
No, this graphic.
Oh, yes. The 2017 draft, first-round quarterbacks, Trubisky, Mahomes, Watson. Pick number 2, Trubisky. But, hey, the 49ers could have had Mahomes as well. They passed on him. Does that help? Probably not. But, look, here's the thing with Trubisky. They do have to give him, I think, one more year. And you can't just rip the ball out of his hands and make Phillip Rivers the starter. And you touched on the point that Peter King and I discussed yesterday. I don't know that there's a team out there that says to Phillip Rivers, you're the guy, without question. We're not going to draft anybody who may supplant you in November. You don't have to compete with anybody. You're the quarterback, barring injury or some other complete and total disaster, week 1 through week 17, and the contract proves it. $27 million, $28 million, something like that makes it clear you're the guy. I don't know that there's a team that's going to do it. Maybe Carolina, if they do trade Cam Newton. Maybe the Titans, if they would lose Ryan Tannehill, although I don't think they're going to. Maybe Tampa Bay, if they decide to move on from the Jameis Winston experience. But I'd take Winston over Phillip Rivers, Big Cat. I just don't know that there's going to be a team that clearly and unequivocally makes Phillip Rivers their guy. And I especially don't think it'll be the Bears.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm going through the progressions in my head saying who would be that team. And I don't really see it. But you know what? I'll throw out one team that's going to be interesting, what they do this offseason. How about the Indianapolis Colts? Are they totally sold on Jacoby Brissett? Or do they bring in someone else and say, hey, we're going to give a shot. You guys got to compete for the job.
Well, they've got Brissett signed for at least one more year. I'm pulling up his contract now. He is signed through 2020, $6 million salary, $8.875 million roster bonus. They've also got Brian Hoyer under contract as well. But I think Phillip Rivers possibly an upgrade there. What about New England if Tom Brady leaves, right?
It's good.
And I think Phillip Rivers' best play may be to just wait, because we assume this game of musical chairs is going to result in quarterbacks being left over looking around saying, where's my job? There's a chance there's going to be teams when the dust settles saying, where the hell's my quarterback? And that may be when Phillip Rivers swoops in and finds that spot where he's the week 1 through week 17 starter.
It is going to be fascinating because the quarterback carousel, we haven't seen anything like this particular year with Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Jameis Winston, Dak Prescott possibly, Phil Rivers, Joe Burrow and Tua coming into the league. It's going to be awesome.
I'm looking at Jacoby Brissett's contract. He's got $7 million that becomes fully guaranteed on March 22. They paid him $20 million guaranteed already. They could escape the contract, though, if they decide to move on from him, or they could just keep him. It's not that expensive. Keep him and get Phillip Rivers. That could happen. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.